Hey there! Welcome from the Sziget festival in Budapest, Hungary. So, as you can see, everybody is walking the other way. Everybody is going inside, just I am leaving again, because I'm only the driver. So, the thing is, my daughter and my wife went to the Billie Eilish concert. So this is the last day of this festival, which I think is one of the largest in Europe. So really everybody's getting in, and I'm really the only guy who's walking out. So it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the concert will probably be finished at 11 or 12 at night. And after that I will have to drive back about 120 kilometers to our place. So that means I have about 8 hours of time to kill. But hey, I mean, this is Budapest. So I will find something to do, hopefully. Yeah.
Gabi az nem csak ezt csinálja, mert...
Okay, so that's the bridge that leads you to the island. Maybe you know that Sziget is the Hungarian word for island, and this festival is taking place on an island in the Danube River. So what else did I want to say? Yeah, actually I've been thinking about going to the concert as well, but I wasn't sure, because I mean it's 115 euros per day, which is not a bad deal, but actually I don't really like these overcrowded places. And when you look at the number of people who are coming here, I'm wondering if it even will be possible to see the stage. So I don't like these crowded places, and the other thing was that I didn't find a good parking lot, so I have to leave the parking lot in about 2 hours. So yeah, that's why I decided to just walk around Budapest for a while, or maybe even just Óbuda, because this is not directly in the city. This is about 4 or 5 kilometers from the center. So yeah, see you probably when I have decided what to do. So this is Óbuda. Most people don't know that Budapest actually resulted from the unification of not just the two towns, Buda and Pest, but also this one, Óbuda, which actually is the oldest of the three. So it doesn't look like that, but I have just read that there are some Roman ruins right over there, somewhere, right next to the road. And I'm planning to check them out first, and then I will look if there is something like an old town in this place or whatever. Okay, yeah, this looks Roman. So as far as I can see, there is no inscription, no table saying what exactly this is, but I think that on the other side of the road there are some more ruins. Okay. Well, yeah, this looks Roman as well, but I would say these are not original. No way. So this is just, at least if you ask me, this is just decoration. But I think on the other side of the road there is some more to see. Yeah, that looks more like it. Let's see if I can find some kind of description. Again, I think that the walls are probably mostly original Roman, but I don't think that these columns are. Maybe some parts of it, but not the whole things. So this is quite a large structure, but still I have no idea what that is. Again, I think I need to look it up. No table, no inscription. Maybe I'm just too stupid to find it. This looks interesting here. Okay, so I have to say that the surroundings are special for Roman ruins. So there are 2 or 3 levels of roads, a tram, buses, but over there I can see a church. So maybe this is where the old town of Óbuda might be, if it exists. Finally found a quieter place, well, relatively quiet, here in Óbuda, with some older buildings, churches. So I wouldn't really call this the old town, but it could well be that these are actually the oldest buildings which still exist in this part of the town. So I decided to go back to my car. I mean, I have to, because my parking time will be over in a few minutes. And then I think I will go somewhere closer to the center of Budapest. Oh, there's a Korean flag here. Could it be that this is a Korean restaurant? Not obvious, at least. So again, there's another restaurant, some more old buildings. These actually look quite nice, but again, look at these massive apartment blocks over there. But I have to say that these actually look relatively clean and in relatively good condition. You can see that many of the apartments have air conditions, and they actually don't look that bad, but I have to say that I definitely wouldn't want to live in a house like that. So this part of town is absolutely not pedestrian friendly. So what I actually want to do is just to go over there. But can't see any way to do this. So it looks like I have to go back through this pedestrian pathway and cross this collection of streets somewhere on the other side, just where I came from. At least I can check out these Roman artifacts in this pedestrian subway once again. So what is... I'm not sure, but the writing here doesn't really seem Roman to me. So I'm really not sure what this all is about. No explanations, unfortunately. Absolutely no inscriptions. Maybe this one will make it more obvious. Oh, that's a huge pedestrian pathway with even more Roman artifacts. Okay, so yeah, this definitely looks Roman. Emperor Hadrian and so on. So it's actually some kind of open air museum, or better, not really open air, something like a subway museum, the one and only Roman subway museum in Óbuda. Check this out. So it looks like when they were building these streets, they were careful to keep at least some of these Roman ruins here. So I'm not sure if I mentioned it already. At least few people know that this part of Hungary, the western part of Hungary, actually was a Roman province named Pannonia. And this also, by the way, includes the region around Lake Balaton. So it has quite a long history, and so it's no surprise that there are some ancient ruins in this region. So I'm actually absolutely fascinated by these communist-style apartment blocks. Wondering how could somebody even get the idea to, but it makes sense to build something like that. I'm still in Óbuda, and look at these apartment blocks. They are completely different. They are new, and probably it's quite expensive to buy an apartment there. So that's the new and fancy Budapest or Óbuda, and that's the old style communist Óbuda. And you can see that, yeah, first of all, some apartments and also stores are still for sale or for rent, and there are also some new buildings being created, and they kept this chimney, maybe as a symbol for the industrial history of this region, or just because it looks cool to have a chimney next to your apartment, I don't know. So right next to this apartment block is something like a former industrial area, which actually looks quite cool. And they have partly renovated these industrial buildings and opened some shops, designer shop, whatever, gorilla wear, no idea what that is. This is crazy. Still masses of people walking towards the Sziget festival. So it's about 7 o'clock and the Billie Eilish concert will start at 9 o'clock. So I'm not sure if they will all get in. So that's more what Budapest is famous for. Look at all these historical buildings here. So okay, so this is Jókai, famous Hungarian poet, and this is Jókai tér, Jókai Square. So I think I'm not going to do a large city tour anymore. It's already 7:30 and well, it was not really fun to get around here by car. I don't recommend it, but I had no other choice. So finally found a parking lot where I can pay with my card. Otherwise you can only pay with coins or with some special cards. I don't know what kind of card you need. At least my card didn't work there. But finally I'm succeeded. I'm now not really in the center, but I think, I'm not really sure, this is one of the famous streets. I think it's Erzsébet körút, but I'm not really sure. Look at this building. Párizsi Nagy Áruház. Okay, used to be a shop and there seems to be a restaurant at the roof. So it looks like I completely lost orientation because I know this building, that's the opera house. And I really didn't expect it here. And that means, of course, the street where I was walking was not Erzsébet körút, but it is Andrássy út. So I think I have to go over there, turn left and then turn right. Let's take one of the side streets over here. Might be more interesting and not as loud as on the main street. Some crazy stuff here. Look at that. It's called the Museum of Tweets and Selfies. Let's do a selfie. So I'm still just wandering around randomly looking for a restaurant, but keep discovering all kinds of monumental buildings which I have never seen before. Although I have been to this town quite a few times. Wondering what that is. That's interesting. Probably used to be some kind of market hall. Yeah, Warschau-Czarnok. Let's have a look inside. Okay. Yeah, it's closed. Except for the supermarket. But nice market hall here. So I just had dinner. I went to a Vietnamese restaurant and had a duck with fried rice for about 15 euros, including a mineral water, which is quite okay. The food was fine. You might wonder, why am I going to a Vietnamese restaurant in Budapest, not to a Hungarian one? Well, there are different reasons. So, first of all, I like Vietnamese food. Secondly, I never tried this type of food in Hungary before. Number three, I really have enough of Italian food, pizzas, burgers and things like that. I wanted to have something different. And finally, I'm alone. So my wife wouldn't go to an Asian restaurant in Hungary with me. So you can see that it has gotten dark. I will go back to my car, then drive back to a supermarket, do some shopping, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do because I will have to wait. Nice wine shop here. It's closed, I think. So I don't know, because my family will not be there before midnight. So I will have to spend another 2 hours before we can drive home, and the shops will be closed. So let's see. Okay, now this should be Erzsébet körút. Let's go this way. Okay, so I think that's it. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye. Can you hear that? So I'm on the parking lot of Auchan. It's about 800 meters away from the main stage, and well, at least I can actually hear Billie Eilish singing. Now, finally, bye bye. See you next time, hopefully.